Well, we could see what that meant to Jurgen Klopp. And here are Liverpool and City's next fixtures. So if City lose their next 2 matches, then Liverpool are crowned champions. But of course, if they win, then they literally need 6 points to win the title. So where do we think it's going to happen? It's an easy question, obviously.
Yeah. Get your crystal ball out.
Well, obviously, they're playing Everton, Palace and then Manchester City. So they've got some interesting fixtures to come.
Yeah, you would still like it to be in the balance for Liverpool to go to City, and at least something would be on that game. So hopefully,
But they might like to win it at home as well. And that would be against Palace.
I think Ryan, where did you prefer to win it, Ryan? Home or away? Or did you not care?
Yeah, you didn't. Liverpool won't care because they've not done it for so long.
Yeah.
But you don't want to do it without kicking a ball.
Yeah.
You would rather be on the pitch celebrating. But, they want it over and done with. But ideally, actually on the pitch, final whistle goes and they celebrate together.
It's just a hard problem to have, isn't it?
I know, it's terrible, isn't it? Where do you want to win the Premier League trophy? When do you want it presented? Yeah, it's a shocker.
Brilliant stuff. On that note, we are going to take a break after.
Good performance, but a very difficult start, obviously. Situations that they really don't help, like the first goal. Obviously, it's from my point of view, 100% foul, nothing else. But then we wanted to fight back before the game, so then we had to fight really back. Did that, put them under pressure. Did a lot of good stuff. Had really good situations. Scored wonderful goals.
Started really well, obviously, and scored the goal. We looked to threaten the counter-attack today. Thought we defended really well when they had the ball. 2 goals come from us having possession and that transition that Liverpool are so good at. They punished us twice today, but can't fault the lads for what they gave to the game.
We know how many we need, and when you get closer and in touching distance of a league title, it's always that bit harder every game. But the mentality has been there. I think you can see the last few years when we've had disappointments in European finals and obviously 97 points and bouncing back from that. You can see the mentality and the drive and the tunnel vision that this squad has, and hopefully that continues and we can keep pushing ourselves and improving and getting back to the level that we know that we're capable of performance-wise. But again, the character's there to get results on days like today where you maybe don't have your best performance.
Liverpool breaking more records. You can see that, winning home runs in the English top division. They've broken their own record and they need 2 more wins for the title. Although, actually, they could win the title without kicking another ball. Depends on what happens to Manchester City.
I see Newcastle on that list there, Mark. It's incredible.
You did, 1907.
When Chris was refereeing.
Yeah. That's a cheap shot.
And I sent you off.
They had to come from behind, obviously. And when they're 1 down, you're thinking, oh, this is interesting. Liverpool's little wobble looks like it's continuing.
Big punch in the face, wasn't it, early on? You always felt as though Liverpool were going to suffer a little bit of drama because the form hasn't been good, lacking a little bit of confidence. But they reacted well. The start was interesting. They didn't come out the blocks particularly quick, particularly aggressive, and that happens when you're struggling. You search for something and you try and feel your way into the game. And then it was a long ball from Bournemouth, and the big question marks was this a foul or not? What Joe Gomez has got to do, Mark, in future is make sure you go down and hit the floor, because 100 times out of 100 times you get a foul.
Yeah. Or be stronger.
It's difficult because Callum Wilson's strong and he's running towards his own goal. Personally, I felt as though it was just a foul, but I could honestly see either way. But I think if Joe Gomez goes down, he gets it 100%.
Here we go, Chris. Is it a foul for you?
Yeah, I think Paul Tierney will reflect on this, and I think if he was refereeing this match again, he would give a foul for that. Only it's a small foul, but the VAR has to determine, was he clearly and obviously wrong? He obviously felt that he wasn't, and he allowed it to stand. But a physical contact always looks worse in slow motion, as you can see, because it doesn't give the opinion of a two-handed push, does it? It's sort of a bit of leverage. So
knocked him off his balance, didn't it?
Yeah. Foul for you.
Also looks worse if the one being pushed hits the deck. Unfortunately, that's what we want to eradicate from the game.
Yeah.
But I'll be telling my players, hit the floor. Hit the floor, and these guys convince them that it's an obvious foul. Because referees, unless you hit that, they almost want to. Surely, Chris, the refs, please hit the floor because it makes our decision easier. Why would you want them to stay on their feet now?
Well, I think the simple fact of the matter is you've got to play within the framework of the laws and do the right thing at the right time. We talk about the spirit of the game, don't we? But in that situation, if a player goes to ground with that minimal arm, that just doesn't sit well for our beautiful game, does it?
No, but it would convince you that was a foul.
Not necessarily me, Tim.
When you said it wasn't clear and obvious, it would be clear and obvious if he hits the deck.
That
It would be clearer and more obvious.
And by the way, I'm pretty sure Jurgen will have relayed that message to Joe Gomez. Because you do, when you're young, you try to... And I know what's going through Joe Gomez's mind when he's in a foot race and when he's in a battle of strength with Callum Wilson. He doesn't want to go at the floor because he doesn't want to see as though he's being out-muscled. Yeah. So it's almost a show of strength.
A macho thing.
Exactly, but when you get older... And you get smarter about the game. Yeah. All you're waiting for then, when you get to 25, 30, all you're waiting and praying for is please push me in the back, please lean on me, and I will go down. Yeah. And I would more or less guarantee, Mark, 100 times out of 100, the referee blows for a free kick. Yeah.
Not 1907.
No, 100 out of 100.
You're not going to forget that, are you? Eddie Howe said we gave them the 2 goals, and they did. The way that they like to play out, it's the Vogue, we all know it, Tim. But for the young lad Simpson, this is horrible to watch, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not good decision-making from Simpson. He's just come on the field for Cook, who went off injured. But he's going to have to learn by that. It's all you can do now. There's no point sulking. You have to learn. You need to clear your lines.
What about the ball from Mane?
Yeah. No, they're poor. Even in midfield, Lewis Cook gives a square ball away from the second goal. It's not good enough. They got punished for their own mistakes. They're the architects of their own downfall, unfortunately, Bournemouth. And they made a right go of it. Liverpool would have wanted a lot easier game than they had at the weekend. They get possession.
And here's the second one you've just said. Look,
good possession, too expansive. You see Stacey here is already on his way out the right back. It leaves a gaping hole for Mane. But what you'd have to say is the Liverpool strike force, so clinical. Yeah. You don't get a second chance. In the Championship, you get second chances. Hopefully.
So there's one bad touch there, Tim, and the ball's in the back of the net about 3-4 seconds later.
The centre-half has come out of his position again with the ball, and instead of hitting a little channel ball, he's tried to play one of these passes where, in your peripheral vision, you see a player that's 2 or 3 yards away. Don't give it to a player that's 2 or 3 yards away, because you can do the same job. Then once he gives it away, he's out of position, Simpson, so he can't then recover.
Yeah. Let's have a look at Liverpool's next 10 matches. Where and when are they going to win this league title? As I say, they could actually win it without kicking another ball, because Manchester City have got a couple of games this week. They've got Arsenal and Burnley. They've got Atletico first in the Champions League. That will be tough. Well, they could win it.
I'm not going.
You're not going. You cannot win the game at Goodison.
I'm meant to be there, but I think I'm going to have to phone the bosses and say I'm not going.
You might have to have a flat tyre or a dentist appointment.
I'll think of something.
Yeah. You'll think of something.
I mean, it is terrible. I remember when Arsenal come to the White Hart Lane and won the league. It's a local derby, and them celebrating on our pitch for hours after the game.
Can't imagine.
Not a good feeling.
No.
Can't imagine.
That is low on your list of things you want to do, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think if you're a Liverpool player, you haven't won it for 30 years, you want to do it in front of your home fans. Yeah. So hopefully they get a chance to do it at Anfield.
Would you rather win at Anfield or win at Goodison? If you're a Liverpool player.
Anfield.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think your own people.
And I'm just thinking they can rub it in.
There's like the full house, and there will be 100,000 people outside the stadium as well.
Let's have a look at Bournemouth's next 10 as well. It's going to be really tough for Bournemouth, but they played well at 1-0 up, to be fair, didn't they? That's where they are in the league down there. Look at that. 27 along with Watford and West Ham, Brighton 29, and behind Bournemouth, Villa 25, Norwich 21.
There's not much fight. When you look at the teams and the muscle down at the bottom, you could potentially see Villa doing something. You see Watford potentially. West Ham, I think, have had a good couple of weeks, even though they've lost a couple of games. I see a bit of fight in them. The teams that worry me are Brighton and Bournemouth, because they're not changing their style. They're trying to play this expansive football, and when you're losing games and you keep losing it, surely something has to change.
I would agree, them two sides. I think it's between them. I think Bournemouth get out of it because of their firepower. I think Wilson, Josh King coming back to fitness, I think they will give them the edge.
OK, let's take a break. And when we return, we'll look at...
We could see what that meant to Jurgen Klopp. And here are Liverpool and City's next fixtures. So if City lose their next 2 matches, then Liverpool are crowned champions. But of course, if they win, then they literally need 6 points to win the title. So where do we think it's going to happen? It's an easy question, obviously.
Yeah. Get your crystal ball out.
Well, obviously they're playing Everton, Palace, and then Manchester City. So they've got some interesting fixtures to come.
Yeah, you would still like it to be in the balance for Liverpool to go to City, and at least something would be on that game. So hopefully,
But they might like to win it at home as well. And that would be against Palace.
I think Ryan, where did you prefer to win it, Ryan? Home or away? Did you not care?
Yeah, you didn't care. Liverpool won't care because they've not done it for so long, but you don't want to do it without kicking a ball.
Yeah.
You would rather...